Well, congratulations to you. You found yourself another edition of the Bros of the Brew. Jersey Joe here, eye on the box over there. And you know, we like to talk about drinking, we like to talk about sports. But you know what? Tonight we're going to talk about a special sport, a niche sport, as Joel cracks open a Modelo out there, and it's bowling. You know what? I put a question on social media. Do you like to go bowling? Do you not? And a lot of you had a lot of good answers. So let's see if you like to bowl. Is it a dying sport? Is it still alive? What's the deal with bowling? What are your thoughts? Hit us up live right now on the show or on Twitter. Joel, let's go to you first. When's the last time you bowled, and do you actually like to bowl?
Probably go bowling like once a year. Mm-hmm. It's fun. It's fun. You need to have a shitload of people. It's not one of those sports that just is automatically fun. You have to make it fun. So the best thing to do is get like 4 of your friends and get like 6 pitchers.
Nice. That's a great way to deal with it. Keith wrote an opinion. I've got to share his because I agree with his opinion 100%. He writes in, he says, I love the bowl, but it's too damn expensive in New York City. And he's absolutely right. If you want to go bowling here in New York, unless you have a big group, you're going to break the bank. I mean, you're at $50 just for walking in with your shoe rental. And that basically gets you maybe an hour of bowling, maybe 2 frames or 2 games. So, you know, back home when I grew up in Pennsylvania, it was a cheap date, cheap sport. $20, you go out all night. You could do like the rock and glow bowling all night. But here in New York City, it is expensive, and I think that's what actually led to its demise here. People just don't bowl here anymore on the East Coast. A lot of bowling alleys have closed. Are there still bowling? I know there's bowling alleys in Vegas, but are there a lot of them, or a little bit? How many do you think are there out there?
They're in like most of the hotel casinos, and they're open 24 hours, so there's always people in them.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that the casinos are out there. It's, I guess, like in the South, I'm thinking bowling's still like a relative sport. Just here in the East Coast, like there's a lot of old ones here in New Jersey, a lot back home in Pennsylvania. They've just closed. It's not a sport that's like making any money anymore. And that's why I put that question out on social media. Kevin says, depends what kind, candle pin or 10 pin, all the above. Courtney says, love bowling. Jamie Zimba says, haven't bowled in years. J City picks, I bowled last night. The place was over half full. Good for a sunny night in the summer. It was fun. So, Joel, we had like a nice mix of some people saying, yes, I go bowling. No, I don't. It's available in my community, but I don't go bowling. So it sounds like to me it's a little bit of a mix whether people actually still do go bowling or not. I like to bowl, though. I mean,
the reason that people in the South like bowling is because all the 10 pins remind them of back when they had 10 teeth.
You worked on that one all day, didn't you?
I just thought of it 2 seconds ago. I bowled in high school as like I don't know what it's called, like an extra course. Mm-hmm. And I was really good at it. And I would show up and get f***ed up half the time. And I was still really good at it. I think I was second in the class, and it was like all of the people in Northern Nevada. And I didn't have any bowling experience. So, but my average was like in the high 100s. So like I wasn't horrible for someone who didn't know what they were doing.
Well, congratulations to you that you came from a school that actually was big enough to have bowling, because I did not. In fact, we had to go to plan a night out of it. It was a good half an hour away if you wanted to go bowling. But my friend Simon down in Atlantic City, we used to do the rock and glow bowling, where they kind of lock you in all night. And you if you hit the pin with the red pin for a strike, you win a prize and things like that. We would do it all the time. And it was another one where it was $20 all night long. It didn't include your beer or anything or food, but it basically included you brought the sun up bowling. It was a lot of fun. And definitely the jackpot prize is always the bonus thing. It's kind of cool when bowling alleys do that. The blacklight bowling. Did you ever do anything like that? Like the blacklight bowling, disco bowling, whatever they call it out there?
Yeah, before I lived in Vegas, actually, I was visiting one time, and I came down, and there were a bunch of friends bowling. And it was one of those blacklight bowling things, except a song came on, and it was packed. This was 2 in the morning, mm-hmm. and it was packed. All the lanes were full. And the song came on, and everybody quit bowling and started dancing. Everybody. Everybody that was up, with their bowling shoes on, ready to go, mm-hmm. just started dancing. And I thought it was, the coolest thing ever.
That's pretty cool. The DJ kind of giving, a club atmosphere with bowling. I could get in on that. That's a cool way to, modernize it, keep the game, young and fresh, I guess. Because right now, it's pretty much, I think, kind of more of an older crowd go to, league nights and things like that. At least what few leagues you see here is definitely, I would say you're 30 and above, at least, is your average median. I don't think millennials or anybody really young are going.
Yeah,
bowling.
I mean, it's something like that here, but it's not. I don't know. It's not totally like that. There's still little groups of people that are younger that bowl. But bowling's cool because it's one of those things that anybody can do. Literally, my retarded dog, he can bowl right now.
Yeah. If the little Crispin goes bowling, that would be the most awesome thing ever. I would put a fat bet down on him if he could actually get the ball down the alley of the Chihuahua. Let's take a few more of your viewer comments right now because Dave writes in and he says, I don't think bowling is dead. Always fun to do with friends now and again. Bowling dates are forever great. I've done it before. I've gone on a bowling date with a girl, and that's like a good date night activity, don't you think?
Yeah, it's cool, especially for like early on dates.
Mm-hmm.
I went out with this chick who was a reporter a long time ago, and I asked her originally to a movie, and she suggested bowling because she told me later because bowling was a better way to get to know somebody and how they react to doing well or doing poorly. Whereas a movie, you're just kind of sitting there, and it's not talking oriented. Where bowling, you get to know people a little bit better. So I thought that was pretty good point.
That's a great answer because you need like the activity day. You need to go out and that she's absolutely right on that. That's how you go out and get to know somebody, interaction, you get to joke, you get to laugh around, especially too if you get a couple cocktails in you as you're doing it. Whether you're good or bad or not, you get to like know the person a lot well. So yes, I think dating or bowling is a good dating activity. Let's take another one of your viewer comments right now because Oilers John writes in and he says, does this count? And he sent me a picture of an arcade bowling machine. I'm going to say, yes, okay. Technically, it's not at a bowling alley, but okay, if you can't get to a bowling alley, all right, there's always the video game substitute. I used to like it on the Nintendo.
The Nintendo Wii with Wii Sports basically changed bowling forever and screwed real life bowling.
Yes.
That shit is so popular.
Yes. Absolutely. And I love the videos on YouTube where people have their little like handle and then they accidentally flick it at the screen, accidentally hit the screen with the, the remote control by accident too. That's happened lots of times. Let's take another one of your viewer comments because Craig writes in and he says, the last time I went bowling, I was in college and crazy high with a group who were just as high. One of our guys tripped, slid halfway down the alley. His ball landed 3 alleys away. We all fell down laughing. We got kicked out and haven't been bowling since. So Craig and his pals sounds like they went bowling high as a kite. I've done it liquored up before because they serve booze there, but I don't know about getting weed involved in drugs.
I do. It's awesome. I actually don't know, but
No, you don't.
like that's goes into what's cool about like anyone can do it. Like you can be totally f***ed up and be doing an athletic activity. You could be eating a slice of pizza and f***ing bowling a 300 game.
Yeah.
Like it's not that far-fetched.
You're right. And now the weed is legal out there in Nevada, it's probably going to have more stoners out there at the bowling alley too. And of course, at the snack bar. All right. So I put a poll out on social media. Have you gone bowling in the past year? 56% of you, no, you have not. 44% said yes. So is bowling dead? Well, you're telling me that you haven't gone bowling in the last year. So it makes me wonder, is it dead if 56% of you aren't really going anymore?
Yeah. Like 1 year is probably the cutoff for the casual person. It's probably about that. I'm just using myself as an example. I go like once a year, so
yeah.
Obviously, the general public of your Twitter feed agrees if it's close to 50%.
I've gone bowling. I went. My boss took our department out at work to go bowling in Times Square like 2 months ago for the afternoon. It was a lot of fun, but I hadn't bowled in probably 8 years since that. It's just not easily available here in New York City. Like I said, it's expensive, and it's just not. There's only 3 bowling alleys in Manhattan, and they're in the tourist area, so they're always packed. But yet they're super expensive, so it's not like the intimate like dive bar bowling, which me being from Western Pennsylvania, I kind of like a little bit better. So my friends really don't want to go bowling. So no, we haven't really done that here. We should put that on the to-do list when I'm out in Vegas because I think that might be a fun activity.
We can do that. It would be more practical for you at least to come out here and bowl than go to fucking Times Square or some shit.
Yes, well, because New York City locals really don't hang out in Times Square. You got that right. But you know what else is a good idea, Joel? Clicking that like or subscribe button down below so you don't miss any more episodes of this web show or my other web show, Kicking Back with Jersey Joe. And this Thursday, I got a good one for you. It's a conveyor belt dinner. I went out to a restaurant in New York City, and your food comes down on a conveyor belt, and you pick it up and take it. It's just like the Ala Lucy episode. I'm going to bring you along with me, and you get to check it out. Conveyor belt dinner Thursday on Kicking Back with Jersey Joe on my YouTube channel. It's another little fun event too, and I was actually waiting for somebody's like car keys come down a conveyor belt or whatever. But one question I do have for you, Joel, about bowling. What do you think of bowling shoes?
Yeah, don't. You need to take a shower after you use them.
They're gross. They stink. They're supposedly spray them out, but man, aren't they styling?
They spray them out in front of you here just to make sure you know they spray them out, I think.
Yeah. I wonder if they could make like an industrial size of one of those cans of spray that could go and like take it over the whole New York City subway or something like that, or any other public places. If it kills germs in your feet, it'll kill germs anywhere. It's like glorified Lysol.
Oh, Christ.
Just a thought. Well, hey, I want to thank our live viewers for chiming in. We thank our live viewers for dialing up the big web show here today. Jersey Joe, Eye on the Box over there. And you know what we tell you each and every episode. See you next time.